back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Provide Pigs podcast. Heavy emphasis on the ladies there. We're all about gender equality here at Provide Pigs. And to all of our female listener, mum, hope you're doing well. I miss you very much. And thank you again for tuning in. We're back for episode 2. Very exciting. Feeling a bit fresh. How was your weekend, Frank? Talk me through it.
Weekend was good. Yeah, didn't get up to too much. Pretty on the relatively quiet end.
Yep.
Did some planning for this, but yeah, other than that, pretty quiet. How was yours?
Very nice, mate. Yeah, look, relatively. Actually, it's a lie. It was huge. Actually, I had a few friends come down from Sydney. We went to the Luke Combs concert, stuff like that. Had a reasonably good day on the punt, which is always nice.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, mate, just getting back into another fucking hot week in Melbourne.
Certainly is. Anyway, I reckon we get straight into it.
Let's go.
So this, obviously last week was a bit more information dense, but this one is obviously going to be more podcasty, which is what you're tuning in for.
This is what this is.
So let's kick it off with, let's chat about you copping some heat over the last few days. We put out a clip on our social media, our Instagram at Provide Pics. Of you talking about Herbie Farnworth.
Fully loaded.
And you copped some backlash. A lot of people thinking that was one of the worst takes they've ever heard. Yeah,
I mean, like, who would have thought fucking 2 Queenslanders and a Pommy coming back at me for saying things about Herbie Farnworth, which, to be honest, I will take. I did the deep dive analysis during the week about what I thought, was a good take. And it's gone from a good take to a great take because hard thing about the NRL is the 3 or 4 best centres in the comp just happen to play fullback at the moment. So when I'm dating back to it, I think Herbie Farnworth is top 2 centre. Not even close.
Okay, fair enough.
So I'll take it to the grave. Anyone who still disagrees, you're an idiot.
But that's the beauty of this podcast, right? You can come out, you can say outlandish things, but you can change it or you can not change it.
Yeah, well, I mean, eventually I will say something outlandish, but until that happens, then I'm just 50% of the podcast, or 49% technically.
Well, 50-50 partnership.
Yeah,
here,
we measured off for who's got the majority stake, and unfortunately, I was the loser there.
So we're going to start with NRL again. So we're going to do both our top 4 and our bottom 4, and we haven't discussed where we see this fitting or for either of us. So this could be anything. I reckon I'll throw over to you. Let's kick it off with your top 4. Who do you think is in top 4 this year? All right,
my NRL top 4. Honestly, don't think it's going to be too separate for this section because I feel like we're relatively mutual when it comes to this stuff. But in no particular order, or do you want any order?
No, give me an order because what we're going to do is we're going to set a challenge, and I've just thought of it on the spot. But for every team you get in the top 4, you get 1 point, and then for every team you get in the right position, you get another point. And then at the end of the year, we'll come up with a forfeit at some point.
That's a great idea.
And the loser will do that forfeit.
Smarter than you look, Frank.
Thank you very much.
Told you that's a bit of a loud one. It's loud, yeah. Sorry, so I knew I shouldn't have been too close to the buttons.
That's all right. We're still testing things.
But yeah, going back to that, sorry for the distraction. My top 4 for the NRL in order is firstly the Melbourne Storm.
Yep.
I think the Storm will win the minor premiership
like that
pretty comfortably.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've actually got, boring, but I think the Panthers are going to be right up there again. And to be honest, to sort of go 2, 3, 4 for me was relatively tight. I think just based on who they can put out each week on the park with injuries and origin, etc.
Yep.
I just felt comfortable putting the reigning premiers back to back to back.
Sure.
In second.
Mm-hmm.
And then it was a coin flip. And I'm probably just going to say it in this order just to upset the viewers more.
Yep.
I'm putting the Broncos in the third position.
Okay.
And then the Sharks 4th.
Okay.
And to be fair, you can't hate me because I am giving them top 4 for the Sharks, which burns me. But I'm not here to fucking give a rookie analysis. I think that's a pretty solid top 4.
No, I like it.
How does that compare to yours?
Yeah, pretty relatively similar. I agree. Storm 1, Penrith 2. Not much analysis to go with that. I mean, Storm is by far my favourite squad on paper.
Yep.
And they have arguably the best system with Penrith. So I think those top 2. Obviously, Penrith losing Luai and Fisher Harris is a big dent. So that's why I'm thinking them second. And then I think Cronulla third. I'm pretty comfortable with those 3 in the top 3. I think Storm, I'm pretty convinced to first. And then I think second and third, maybe flip-flop a little bit. And then 4th is kind of like a 3-way go for me. I'm choosing between Manly, Bulldogs and Brisbane.
Bulldogs?
Yeah, so hear me out, right? So Manly obviously completely reliant on. Hear me out.
You fucking coming at me
Hear me.
for the hot take.
Hear me out.
Oh, hang on.
So
You keep going.
Manly completely revolves around Turbo, right? If
Yeah.
Turbo's healthy, they could easily come fourth, right? Bulldogs, they've got an easy draw. They're one of the best defensive teams, and I think if they can pick up their offensive success, I reckon they're a good chance of sneaking that fourth out.
Please, if you can think of it off the top of your head, tell me who. Oh, actually, I mean, they got Matt Byrne. I was going to say, who's your halves of the Bulldogs? But
Well, Toby had a decent year last year as well.
oh,
I mean, he's not a star. He's not a star halfback.
If I'm
but
going
they
to
came
cop what I've copped week 1 for the Herbie Farnworth, Dogs top 4.
I haven't said
has
who
to
I've
be
chosen.
the most bizarre thing.
Haven't said who I've
ever
chosen
heard.
yet.
Where'd they finish last year? The Dogs.
6th.
Yeah, well,
And I think they're going to be a better team for it. So I think you can arguably move them to 4th. Once again, I haven't said who I'm picking 4th yet.
you said it was
I'm saying
tie.
it's between them. No, I'm going to pick one, but I'm saying my choice was between them. And Brisbane probably are going to be flying home with a wet sail at the end of the year when Ezra comes back. And their team on paper is solid, but they also have the 4th hardest schedule. So
Yeah, okay.
I'm probably more comfortable leading Manly or the Dogs. And just because of the stink you've just kicked up, I'm going to put the Bulldogs at 4th.
I literally just put a bet on with a good friend of mine, like Dogs, unders, overs, 12th on the ladder, and I took unders.
You're kidding.
Yeah, like I literally, you'll see my list. I've got
What's
them
the
for
thought process?
they're just shit. Like every year they get hyped up by the media to be like this awesome. They bring in this new player. Like their best player is like Stephen Crichton. Like, and I honestly, it's probably not his position because he's never played there. But if I was going to get him the ball more, I would throw him at fullback because their back 5 sucks. Their whole team is shit.
Yeah, mate.
Why would you waste your
throw
best player on the
centre
centre?
in the league into fullback?
They're like Latrell. Perfect example. What's the difference?
I think he's too good defensively in the centres. I think he just makes up for like the lack of the wingers' defence, and his wing is like almost impenetrable. Like that side, it's not impenetrable, but it's the clear best defensive side.
No one's impenetrable for the right price.
Yeah, I suppose.
I just don't think they've got the pack to back, like compared to look at the forward pack for the Broncos. Like they've got Payne Haas. Every team just got
they've got a
standout.
smaller forward pack for sure, but that benefits them because they're in these like grueling defensive style games where it's like just hammer and tong at each other, and they outlast teams. So I think it actually works to their advantage.
Okay, well that's fine.
But like I said, I think I could see him anywhere from 4th to 7th probably. But
Okay.
I'm happy to put him 4th. I think if Manly gets an injury, they're cooked, so I don't really want to rely on them.
Yep.
And I think Brisbane is probably going to be lower, but coming home with a wet sail. So
Okay.
I'm going to put Bulldogs 4th, and maybe that's a bad take. We'll find out.
No, yeah, I guess we'll go from there. I'm looking forward to putting that little wager on with you at some stage.
Yeah, we'll see. And then let's go bottom 4. You want me to go first on these?
Yeah, go back to you.
Yeah, righto. So bottom 4, and I'm like, I don't want to say I'm confident, but I feel like I'm relatively confident.
No, I'm excited to hear this.
Yeah, so I've talked about last week. I've talked about it all preseason. Parramatta Eels. I despise them. I think their team list is horrific besides about 3 on paper. I think they've lost 2 of their most influential players. I think the culture with Dylan Brown and all this negotiation with contracts and stuff like that is in shambles. And it's a new coach who's going to be developing a new system, and I think it's not going to be effective this year. It might come good in the next 2 years, but I think this year I'm pretty happy to put them bottom 4.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And my others, I've got New Zealand Warriors in there. I don't hate their pack. I just think losing your halves combination is pretty bad, and I think it's going to take them a while to adapt. They might prove me wrong because they do have. They might prove me wrong because they do have a good schedule, and it's an easy one. But they also have to travel from New Zealand. I'm just happy putting them lower. I also think Newcastle Knights, they're so dependent on
They are
Ponga.
so bad.
And they suck on paper. I don't think Adam O'Brien's that good of a coach.
Oh, God.
And if Ponga goes down, which he probably will with the head knock, they're cooked. And then the other one, we talked about him last week as well, put the clip out about Canberra.
Yeah.
Just not a fan of their team. Like, I'll take that back. There's a few players I really like Kyo Weeks, I think he's a gun. Ethan Strange had a pretty good year last year, but I just think they're young, and I just think it'll take them a bit of time to adapt. I don't think it's this year. So I think the 2 that could make me look like an idiot is the New Zealand Warriors and the Canberra Raiders, but I'm happy to put that as my bottom 4.
Okay, no, not bad.
What do you got?
For me, I didn't think it was going to be this close, but I'd said in the car on the way here that there was one that I really is going to upset you, and I'm looking forward to it because I just again can't
Okay.
see it. So I've got the Eels again, the Warriors, and the Knights.
Yep.
Like I just think the Knights, when you, like you said, their team on paper is so average, and we just know that Ponga's going to get hurt at some stage, or be out for Origin, or just something,
Or play for New Zealand.
or play. Yeah, I mean, fuck, coin flip must be nice.
He'll be coming up later, but continue.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, they're just, and then with the Warriors, like losing Johnson, losing their best player in Fanua Blake, and losing probably like one of their biggest leaders in Tohu Harris. Like you got your two, like your club culture, like just copping those 3 losses is.
And they just don't, like, their back 5 as well. They just don't have, like, definitive position.
Nah.
It's like, oh, who's going to play fullback? Is it Nico
Yeah.
Clodstack? Is it Tua Picky? Is it fucking Tuivasa-Sheck? Like,
Yeah.
there's...
They do a lot of shuffling.
Yeah.
Like, no doubt they've got a lot of talent that's like can come through. But like I said, they sort of just seem like they're just sort of, I don't know. It's going to be a tough season coming back with all their leaders gone.
I think so too.
Traveling in and out of Sydney, Melbourne, Queensland, like
Yep.
back and forth.
Yep.
And the one that I reckon are a dog shit side, always have, always will be, is the Titans.
Okay.
I just cannot see them like touching the top 8, getting close to it. I know it was hard for them last year without Tino, and obviously having Foreign for them was really, really good. But I just think, like you just kind of said there on the Warriors, I feel like a lot of their back 5 sort of do a lot of shuffling sometimes. But I don't know. I just think their forward pack is outside of Fedawaka. I mean, Tino's hot.
I think their fullback's good.
Who's the hooker?
I think it's going to be Verrills. And he's not a star, but he's serviceable enough.
Both Fermor,
Fafita, Jolliffe.
Fafita, bit washed.
I mean,
Jolliffe.
yeah, well, he had a good year.
Actually, he did have a good year, but no, I just reckon
Fair enough.
they're just going to sit down the bottom, unfortunately.
I could see it. I mean, their half structures is going to be interesting what they decide to do
Yeah.
there. And
They
that's
just seem to drop their heads a lot. Like I feel like when I watch a lot of Titans games, it'll be 44, 36,
Yeah.
and they're always on the losing end of it. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're terrible defensively.
Oh, so
but they
bad.
were so good offensively last year.
Yeah.
No, I could see that. I thought they were kind of my smoky to have some success this year, but they're always going to be
Yeah.
going either way.
That's why I
Like-
thought it'd be a bit like
Yeah.
I didn't know. Would
Oh,
you
I
like it
could
'cause-
see why they could have a bad year. But hindsight will be 2020. But that's our top 4 and our bottom 4. I reckon I'm going to clip them up and put them on social. So we'll see what people think of them.
Yep.
Relatively similar, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to a new segment and one that's launching for the first time this week. It'll be a recurring segment pretty much every week because you can almost guarantee there'll be someone that frustrates me
Yeah.
weekly. So let's start off Frank's mug of the week.
I like it.
Yeah, so you can hit a button there if you want, but let's
I
go
will.
again. Well, let's introduce it again. Frank's mug of the week.
Frank's mug of the week. Probably not the button you wanted there, but
Probably not.
it's all about me on this show. So
So this is going to be basically a segment where I call out the biggest dud of the round or the week. You know, whether it's a bad play by someone, a poor coaching decision, a bloke who's just had a stinker, someone who's come out in the public eye and, you know, works for a company that's just had a nightmare, bad take, or
could be the bloke or the last leg of the multi that was paying $1.10 for
Could-
any time goal scorer.
100% could also
There's a
be
few
that.
blacklisted players that we can mention eventually throughout the year that'll come into play for that.
100%. No one's safe here.
Yeah.
And this week particularly was a highly contested week for me. It was very tricky to nail one specific person down. I'll go through some honourable mentions. Sam Kerr. Don't have to talk too much about that one, but in the headlines for all the bad reasons. Kalen Ponga, I really wanted to pick him this week. He's got me fired up.
I actually
Do you know why?
no, but when you
Yeah. So he's come out and said that he's potentially thinking about playing for New Zealand.
but he's already played for Australia.
Yes, and he plays for the Maroons. He's playing in the Maori All-Stars, which is a bit different. It's not, you know, technically internationals, but he's come out and said that he potentially might flip and play for New Zealand.
Has anyone done that before?
Not sure, but what a clown.
Not in the same code,
Especially
right?
after this debacle with him, like, putting his name out from the Pacific Championships where he said, I don't want to play for Australia, and then Mao didn't pick him anyway. But now after that,
Yeah,
I'm
right.
off the bloke.
I don't really get all sort of that. Hey, when you can just sort of jump around.
Yeah,
So
I
he's-
don't-
Is he born in New Zealand but Australia?
no, he was born in I think it was Perth, but he was like raised in a place in New Zealand, Palmerston.
What happened with like Ronaldo, Meldotalo, and all that? Because didn't he?
It's where you play junior footy for Origin.
Yeah, well, oh, true. So
Yeah.
yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, but he wants to represent. It hasn't been confirmed, but he's allegedly about to come out and say, "I want to play for New Zealand."
Yeah, right.
So
And get touched up. Okay. Fuck,
Yeah.
see you later then.
well, anyway, that's ground my gears. Sam McClure in the media, obviously
Oh,
just had.
God.
I mean, when does this guy not have a bad take? Really, it's they're always coming up. So he's going to be probably a constant revival. I've also got Anshul Jubilee. I don't know if you know who that is.
Nah, say into Jubilee, as in Jubilee, win Jubilee.
Anshul Jubilee. He's a Indian MMA fighter.
Oh, God.
And yeah, there was some good edits of him, like talking about how he could knock out Khabib and submit Islam and all this stuff. And then he came out on the Sydney card this weekend and got knocked out in 17 seconds. So, and then the other one that was a very close one was the dipshit editor of Sydney Morning Herald, who came out and said he was disgusted watching the Mark Burris, Dana White, and Chris Minns
he got
interview.
flogged.
And then obviously Dana White came out and flamed him. So he was very close to getting picked as well, because obviously MMA has a very soft spot in my heart. But the winner of the inaugural first mug of the week has to be the Mavs GM, Nico Harrison.
Yeah, true.
So we all obviously heard about the trade with the Lakers and the Mavs, and I'm not even a huge an NBA fan really. Like I watch it and I enjoy it, but I'm not a diehard by any means. But seeing that trade just
giving the Lakers more good players seems like a stupid thing to do, really.
It's an interesting one. I don't think many people really understand it still. But he's going in there for obviously that trade in general, but also the fact that AD's come out in his first game and gotten injured.
Oh, you could pick that from a mile away.
And he's out for a little bit of time now as well. So he wins the first mug of the week. Go and hit a clapping sound effect if there's one there. Yes, congratulations to you, Nico Harrison, for winning the first inaugural Mug of the Week award.
Quite a prestigious award to win.
Yeah, there'll be more. I think we'll do one at the end of the year that'll be the overall winner of all the weeks.
Yep.
But this is the first week. So, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, no, that's good start, I think. Pretty obvious choice. I mean, yeah, some tough contenders there.
Yeah, it was a tough week to narrow it down, but...
that journo was definitely up there.
Yeah, I actually wrote a big thing about him and then I cancelled because I wasn't trying to be too political on the second episode. So
we don't do politics here.
No, we don't. Well, we will, probably. Probably shouldn't, but we probably will.
No.
But let's keep it moving anyway. AFL top 4.
AFL top 4.
Would you like to start again?
Yeah, I will, because I actually really like to look at my top 4.
Please.
And I thought about it. Like I said, I looked at the live ladder kind of thing and just sort of looked at the teams and pretty much elimination process. And I'm stuck with like probably 5 or 6.
Give us your thoughts.
But I guess I'll go in order. I mean, the good thing about the AFL is it's just so chop and change. It's probably could be the complete flip from naming 1 to 4. So I got the Lions to win the minor premiership.
Yep.
I just reckon they're just such a strong team, and as much as it pains me, like watching them in that grand final when they all sort of just clicked on the same day, it was fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it's good.
And we saw them play live once or twice last year, and even then you just knew like they were a solid team. Like I just think they have still what it takes to get all the way to the grand final. I just can't see them not being in the top 4 unless half their team gets injured or something.
Do you reckon Joey is going to be missed much, like that bit of firepower up top? What do you reckon about that?
Yeah, definitely. Like when you got a forward of his like ability, like it's always going to be a big loss kind of thing. But I mean, look at other teams. Like another team I've got in there is the Swans. Like they haven't got that sort of star key forward anymore. Their other forwards sort of make do, and they just play well, and they and then there's no stars in that team, and even now they're getting criticised for having no forward. But clearly, even though they got flogged in the grand final, it didn't affect them getting there. They were still a great team. So yeah, obviously you're going to miss your probably 3 or 4 games, goals a game with Joe Danaher, but there's blokes there that'll feel his shoes relatively quickly, like Hipwood. Nerdwood had like a pretty deep... I kicked 4 on him once in an academy game. Actually kicked 5. Sorry, it was 5 goals, 1. Never mind. That was 10 years ago.
Lost by 100.
Lost by 100. Score was irrelevant. Thanks, Eric. Probably the last time I ever played back, but moving on. Yeah, I just think they've got guys that can fill the void. And yeah, so to Lions, and actually in second, I've got the Giants.
Okay.
I just think, again, I look at their team, and it is just a sexy team. And I know, like, we're Swan supporters.
Figuratively? Literally? Or?
No, literally.
Yeah, right.
Like, there's a lot of good-looking players in that team, and they just, when they're on, they are good to watch too. And I think there's a lot of teams in the AFL that are like that. But I think the Lions, the Giants, and even the Swans, when they're on, it's just like, fuck. Like, they just run through some teams. So I got the Lions 1, Giants 2. I touched on the Swans, who actually have 4th, because I think the Pies are going to finish 3rd.
Okay.
And I think last year was just a one-off season. They were absolutely obliterated with injuries. Like the first couple rounds of the year, I'm pretty sure they knocked off Brisbane round 1, did they not? They knocked off someone good. And
No, I think they.
no,
we played. I'm pretty sure Sydney played Collingwood like round 1 and we beat them. Or it was either 1 or 2. Was it early?
Okay. Well, I remember Collingwood came out and it was they might have been round 2. Maybe it was round 0. They lost. Round 1 in Melbourne, they flogged someone good.
Yeah, right.
And then everyone was going, oh, here they go again. They're going to go back to back. Like it was all these early predictions. I just think when they're on as well, I still think, again, they lack a key forward. I don't have big raps on my check. So I'm interested to sort of see what they do, having like Howie back, if he plays forward.
Yeah, Membry.
Dan McStay. Like, it's just...
Membry.
Yeah, true, they signed him Membry. So, I mean, it's going to be a bit of a different looking team, but I just think they're the 4 strongest teams. So
like it. Yeah, that's a good top 4. It's a little bit different to mine. I wanted to put Sydney in, but they've just broke me too many times as a fan. And
that's fair.
Obviously, new coach. I still think they've got all the talent in the world. So I'll be happy to lose if they come top 4. But I'm gonna put Brisbane as first as well. I just think coming off the back of that premiership, I think they're still gonna want it. I think they will miss a bit of that key forward from Joey action, but he's also good for about 5 brain fades a game too, so they probably will benefit from it as well. I think you got to have him in your top 4 somewhere. So I'm happy to put him minor again. And again, these top 4, bottom 4s largely come down to injuries and things throughout the season.
For sure.
It is a little bit obviously hard, but I'm going to put 2. I'm going to put Geelong. And it pains me to say that because I just hate Geelong. I hate the cat. I hate the cat.
Catman.
I hate the Catman. I also admire him, but
shout out Catman.
Yeah, shout out to you, Catman. But I just think their squad is just elite. They've got so much youth that are coming through that's so talented.
They were like
on the edge.
It was Sydney and Geelong.
Yeah.
I just took Sydney because I just love them.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think they've still got that experience. Obviously, they've lost Tomahawk and Tui, but they've still got Tom Stewart, who was
Shannon Neal
elite. Shannon Neal is going to have a great year this year up top. I just think they got talent all over the pitch, and obviously the inclusion of Basilenko, I think they're going to be fucking deadly. As much as it pains me to say it because they've been good for so long. I'm pretty confident them top 4 somewhere. I want to say them. I'm going to say Brizzy 1, Geelong 2. In 3rd, I'm going to put GWS. So I agree with you there.
Yep.
I think they're the finals.
They were 1 quarter away from the grand
exactly.
final,
The way they bowed out of that final series, I reckon that's going to have lit an absolute fire under their ass, and that's going to burn them. And then they obviously get Jake Stringer's not a huge inclusion.
Do you reckon Jesse Hogan's going to have a good year as he did last year?
Yeah,
he's going to get the delivery and the service, and his job is to catch the fucking ball and kick it straight.
He has the best mitt in the comp, right?
Yeah, it was just people 100% did not expect him to have this season that he had ever in his career.
Yeah.
Like I said, being a forward, you're only as good as your midfield, and their midfield and their skills are elite. And some of the service that he gets is unreal. But then even the stuff that he has to do on his own with the contested stuff.
Oh, he's so strong.
Oh, mate, he is an elite forward.
He doesn't look particularly strong, when you just look at him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't lose contests. He's got the firmest mitt.
Just the way he uses his body too to keep the defender off. It's fucking
good
to watch.
And then, it's not good to watch because then you got to watch his run up, make you spew.
Oh, bring back Ben Brown.
Yeah, he's gone out this year.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he works with Stringer, really, because they are kind of both on the older end, and it feels like their body might be sort of letting them down. But as long as they stay healthy, they're going to be firing. And then I found 4th pretty tricky because I do agree. I think Collingwood's going to be very good. I also think Freo a breakout.
Way to go.
They're going to be a breakout team this year. So I'm going to put Freo 4th. I think they might lack a bit of the experience and the that the Pies have and the experience at the high level. But I think their midfield, I love their forward line. I think their back line's full of talent as well. And obviously with Alex Pearce, the captain, I think they're just pretty...
He's a fucking A-grade lurker.
He's a special unit.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing, I have to agree with Kane Corns here, giving Sean Darcy a huge contract for multiple years just seems like the most bizarre thing because he just gets injured so often.
I don't get how they do all the time, hey?
I don't know, especially with the guy with a big frame like that. It's confusing.
The big Galoptic.
Actually, you have got to agree with Corns there.
Yeah.
I think he's cooked there.
They're a boring team, Freo, but you're right. I do agree. They're right up there.
I don't reckon that they're not that boring.
They're boring, man.
Fair enough. But yeah, that's my top 4. Brizzy, Geelong, GWS, and then Freo. Slight miss out from Swans and Pies. I think any of those are interchangeable, but
No, it's pretty good.
pretty happy with that. And then let's go bottom 4. I think we'll probably have pretty similar bottom 4s. I think the difference between the top 4 and the bottom 4, the top teams and the bottom teams really is pretty distinct.
Yeah, for sure.
Bottom of the bottom, bottom last, dead last. It's dead last. Dead last. Yellow and black. It's got to be Richmond.
Yeah.
It's a terrible list. Tom Lynch hanging on by a thread on the biggest money you've ever heard in your life to play 3 games a year. He's so talented, but just injury prone. They've lost Liam Baker, their vice captain. I just think they're in struggle street this year.
Jailbird.
The Jailbird's a huge loss. If they get more than 4 wins, I'd be surprised.
4 has to be the overrun. That's got to be the line for sure.
Yeah, I think under.
That's generous.
And I think under 4 is a great bet, if I'm honest. If they win more than like 3 games, I'll be pretty surprised.
Well, I can't see him beating anyone in the top 8.
No.
So.
And
that's
we'll go through the rest of the bottom 4, but I think even they are like, I think it's like Richmond a level or like 10 levels.
I reckon St George Dragons in Sydney's first grade could beat Richmond.
Yeah, it feels that way. They've just got so much like inexperience and draft picks that have come through. I don't know. Yeah, I don't have much hope for Richmond, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then above them, I'm gonna go West Coast. I think. I have they're bottom 4. I just don't know whereabouts in the bottom 4, but I'll put them second last. I don't know. Besides Harley Reid, it just feels empty.
Yeah, nah. I'm the same as me. So.
It feels soulless there. Yeah. Tim Kelly's just getting money for what?
I think half their team is sort of just getting money for what?
Yeah, I suppose.
All their old heads.
There's not much to note there, really. No. And then I'm going to throw a smoky... Well, it's not a smoky because I fucking hate him. And I talk about him every week, how much I hate him.
Fuck, I think it's...
St Kilda.
Okay.
I'm putting them third last. I just despise them. Maybe there's bias coming into this. You can tell me. But their list sucks. Their coach sucks. They got no culture. They've lost their 2 best players. Max King's going to get injured. I don't wish that on him, but he will.
Well, that's one of the recipes for disaster. We've got one of the King brothers in your team.
Yeah, correct. And just losing, your best defender. I don't have much hope for him.
I love that Malira.
Yeah, he is. Wanganeen Miller, he's a gun.
He is a superstar.
But he's in a shit team.
I know.
Like they do have good players. I don't not like their players. Like I like Philippou. He's gone down with injury. I really like Rowan Marshall. I think they've got good players. Their system sucks.
Yeah.
And they don't set up any of their players to shine. Like Max King's a dud kick at goal, obviously, but he's like pretty good at contesting the ball and marking and things like that. But they don't go in forward 50 enough. They got barely any entries. They play boring footy. I don't have much hope from this year.
Yep.
I do like Jack Sinclair too off halfback. I think he's really good. I think he's
elite. Halfbacks get 40 touches a game because the ball's there all game.
Correct. They don't go forward 50. So, yeah, I'm going to put them third last. Maybe that's a sneaky bit of my bias coming in, but I don't really care. And then fourth last, I'm going to go North Melbourne. I think they'll be better than last year, but I still think they'll be a little bit off.
Yep.
I like their squad, but I think they're just lacking.
Just the same thing with North Melbourne. They just, you just don't expect much, but then they get a bit extra and you go, oh, this year they'll win a couple more maybe.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I don't know who else you could really put in the bottom 4 because I do think, like as I said, North Melbourne probably going to be improved. But are they going to be that improved to get out of the bottom 4?
Well, that's what I was sort of having to struggle with as well when I was looking at mine. Like, so I've got the same. I've got West Coast, Richmond, and I've got North like fourth, tied, and then my one below is I've actually gone Adelaide.
Who have you got bottom? So who got bottom?
So I've got Richmond, then West Coast, then Adelaide.
Okay, talk me through Adelaide.
I just don't think they've got any real good players. Like, I just don't know. I just don't think there's much really going on there. Like, I have North Melbourne higher than Adelaide just because of like the young superstars they had and like the way they played last year. Like, I reckon North Melbourne will win 8 games this year.
Yeah, where will that put them?
Oh, probably 13th or 14th.
Yeah.
Just obviously because the spots 3 to 11 is normally 4 points within it.
Yeah,
because all
it's
those
tricky.
teams, you got your Melbournes.
I just think that they're not going to compete there.
Well, that's what I mean. They're just
Yeah.
not going to they're not going to make the top 8.
Yeah.
So it just depends on how badly they play. Will they drop down the
Mm.
ranks? Because there's just teams that I sort of couldn't put below them.
Yeah.
Like, so obviously St Kilda, I don't rate as poorly as you, but they're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Adelaide, St Kilda, North Melbourne as well. Port Adelaide.
They finished top 4 last year. Everyone's like thinking they're going to have this huge fall off.
Well, they've lost Marshall for the year.
Well, no, it's not the year. It's like,
Isn't it an Achilles?
yeah,
That's a year.
we'll see. It's not supposed to be a year, but yeah, I suppose that is a key forward, and they lost Dicko as well.
Yeah.
Suppose it does have them down on strength, like a strength up top.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd just be surprised. Like, you don't often see a top 4 team just completely ass flip and go bottom 4.
Yeah. But like, you've got the Suns that are going to be lurking around there.
Yeah, they could surprise. Well, not the opposite.
The only thing is having Dimmer come in, like Dan Rioli come in, they've actually signed some players.
Yeah,
Because I feel like Adelaide, I haven't seen anything on the books that sort of goes, oh shit, they fucking signed so and so. So I don't know. That's just I've got them lower
Fair
than
enough.
St Kilda for me.
Well, yeah, you got the smoky. So you've got Adelaide. I've got St Kilda in my smoky spot to be dead last, or not dead last, but in the bottom 4. So I think they're pretty relative. I guess let us know in the comments who you guys are riding with your top 4 and your bottom 4 for both. I'm interested because there is a bit of, it's a thing you got to put your neck on the line and go out and say where you think, and you could look like an idiot come season's end.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see where everyone else lies. So make sure you let us know in the comments. Anything else to note there?
No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty good for what we've got so far. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do a quick Q&A section. So I put a post out on, and I haven't even really read them. So it could be anything. Put a post out on our Instagram at Provide Pics.
Yep.
For
already banned on TikTok.
Yeah, they banned us off TikTok. They could have made my mug of the week. TikTok
Only took 1 week and we were already banned.
Yeah, they just blocked my account, cancelled, kicked me out, suspended it, terminated. It's gone.
Yep.
So unfortunately, we'll have to build that again, but it's part of the game, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, put a question and answer thing out on Instagram and got a few back. So let's have a look. So the first one, and I'll put these on screen so you can see who said it.
I haven't seen these either.
Yeah,
no idea.
we've got a question here. It says, Sydney Derby recap, up the A-League. What have you got for this? Have you got anything?
Sydney Derby, or does that mean like the what Western Sydney was Sydney?
Yeah, they played last week.
Did they?
Yeah. Do you know
On what, fucking ABC 27? No, mate, I actually didn't get any time to watch that. I was watching paint dry on Channel 10. Actually, yeah, between the project and paint drying, I was torn for choices. So, no, mate, I didn't get to see who was playing Del Piero or fucking Emile Heskey play. So
you didn't see the result? I actually did see the result.
Oh, well, the biggest was a 0-0 draw.
No, it was a draw, but I think it was 3-3.
Yeah, right.
And I think the Sky Blues scored an equaliser at about the 90th minute. So
the Cove would have loved that.
the Cove would have loved that. Jansen Dowdy would have loved that.
Is the Cove still a thing, or do they all sit the game and watch the game in the pub like all those pussy Melbourne United fans?
No, the Cove is still thriving.
Yeah, okay,
unlike Melbourne City and what were they? I don't even
What's
remember.
that other team that played in Melbourne? The
Heart.
Oh yeah, the Heart. Oh, the Heart. Melbourne Heart. I'm a Melbourne Heart fan.
Yeah, so not a lot of action from us on the Sydney Derby.
No, but if there is any Melbourne Heart fans out there watching, just run straight
Go
first
fuck
to a wall. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty simple on that one. A-League is
A-League. It should be the Z-League.
yeah, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
It used to be all right. All right, we've got another one here. So I'll obviously pop these all up on the screen. Who's more likely to score a ton? Steve Smith in Sri Lanka or Doug at Latrobe?
Oh, fuck. That's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know what?
For anyone who doesn't know, Latrobe is Doug's home ground for golf.
Yeah, it's a private golf course, nothing major. I mean, fucking, you know what, $5,000 a year. But yeah, that's a great question because it's funny. In my last 3 posted scorecards, I had like a 84, which is roughly around where I want to be, and then I had like 100, 106, 110. Had some real trouble adapting to Latrobe Golf Course, but on the right path. So, I mean, if you go off, only go off your last few scores, I'd say I'm probably more likely to hit 100 than Steve Smith in Sri Lanka.
And we did actually play. Was it yesterday?
Yeah,
it was yesterday. Yeah, we played yesterday, and just god awful for me. Just terrible.
Yeah, it was a 2-ball Ambrose. I think we probably took 2 balls of Franks all day.
Yeah.
But hey, you're only learning.
I hit one good drive,
Mm.
and it was very good.
It actually went further than mine, so it would have been probably at, 420 metres?
Yeah, dead straight too, which doesn't happen often.
Yeah.
So it was nice to take that one. But I think other than that, it was a very quiet day on the ball front for me.
That's a great question. Just who was that?
That was Nathan Kenny.
Really?
Yes.
Great question, Nathan Kenny.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Not taking anything away from Smudge either.
No, he's in good form. And we're having this conversation at the pub. How good do the people who have gone to Sri Lanka have it?
Oh, yeah. Must be nice.
You could be by the sea, blue water, playing an easy test match against a dud team.
Yeah.
On a flat track that does not. I mean,
yeah.
As we mentioned on the weekend, I don't think Steve Smith even worn a helmet over there. Was he put a helmet on?
I don't care what anyone says about sport and playing like against the good teams and having a 1-point thriller, but let me tell you, anyone who says opposite is a liar. When you're going down a Kiama Power and you're playing at midday on the water and you're playing against a 16-year-old backman and you kick 10, way better than playing against the good teams.
Exactly.
Why would you want to play in India?
Against Bumrah, who's going to take your head off.
Takes your head off. You go out for 7, or you go down to Sri Lanka. You play against Dilshan or whoever they got coming
you have
up.
a surf.
Malinga the swinger.
You don't wear a helmet for 5 days.
Just seems like a vacation, really.
Yeah.
It's almost like a reward for all the hard work they did against India.
Yeah, which is bizarre because they've put all the good blokes out and they've brought all the sort of the second tier in, and they get to enjoy this unbelievable trip to India. Oh, sorry, not to India, to Sri Lanka.
Mm.
It does seem like a reward.
They'd be out late, probably not eating very well. They wouldn't be doing physio. They'd just be licking their lips.
Here's a good one. It's my question. It's not a question and answer.
Okay.
How many rum and cokes do you reckon Travis Head would have taken down in Sri Lanka? I don't know if he's even there, but if he's not, how many do you think he could?
Travis Head?
Yeah.
Probably about as many as his last score. Or would he have his last donuts?
I thought he was going all right.
No, Travis Head's hasn't he been punted?
No, he's been good.
Travis Head, has he not been punted from the cricket? I don't fucking watch cricket. It's boring.
No, he's had tons. Like he did have a couple of bad scores, but he's had tons as well. Like
I swear against India, he was going no good.
No, he had one where I'm pretty sure he turned up, and then he did have a couple of small ones.
Okay.
So what's your answer? Over 15?
Yeah, okay. I'll take the overs over 15.
Okay, done. And this will wrap us up for the last question. And I haven't even put any thought into this, so it's a very good question. Rate worst supporters of all NRL teams. It's a good one. It's a really good one.
Worst supporters of all NRL teams.
If you had to go and sit in an away seat in the middle of an opposition fan base, who would you least want to sit in the middle of?
I mean, I've got two answers. One's completely biased, which is the obvious choice, the fucking Roosters.
Okay.
Because I'd have to fight every one of you cunts all the way home. You can bleep that out with one of those buttons. Yeah, the Roosters definitely, but I'd probably just say the Bulldogs as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And just, I mean, only because I used to go to a lot of Bulldogs games at ANZ Stadium, and just also because I just don't rate their team. So I'd probably really, really struggle to enjoy that.
Yeah. No, I think the Bulldogs are the easy answer, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere near where drum is banging.
Oh, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the drum.
Yeah, so I'll be far away from there. I'm trying to rack my brain for, like, really definitive other clubs that just suck in terms of supporters. I mean, Maroons, it's not a club, but Maroons, I would just hate that. Yeah. Well, bet any Blues fan would.
The only upside about the sitting in a Roosters opposing crowd is when you actually go and, like, you're in their members section.
It's empty.
And it's you and you're there. Oh, fuck yeah, I'm sitting with the Roosters members. You're only really sitting there with 3 people. Because they don't have any real fans. The only sort of fans they do have are the ones that are on Facebook every time they make a prelim and they post on my wall.
Yeah, well, they don't leave Vaucluse, do they? And do you blame them?
No, I don't blame them.
No.
But to be fair, the way they're going to go this year, I'll probably enjoy every second of the fucking Roosters season. So.
Okay, what about? I'm just having a look at the ladder.
Rapid fire 'em, go.
I'm going to give you a couple that I think might be on your shit list. Penrith.
Yeah, don't like them, hate them.
Wouldn't want to be in the middle of them.
No. Especially at Penrith.
Tigers?
I don't mind the Tigers. Eat them alive.
Okay. That's really all that I can see that I would despise.
Tigers are just all battlers. As if you don't want to be sitting next to that Thurston bloke.
Give us your best impression.
I can't do it. You do it better than me.
No, I'm not doing it.
Okay.
All righto.
Just safe space, mate.
This is a podcast, mate. Come on.
I'm good. Moving on.
Fair enough. But that's all the questions. So thank you for those. I reckon let's just touch on quickly. Did you catch any of the NRL trial matches?
I put on a same game multi, and as soon as I think it was Stone Street or whatever the fuck his name is got pulled,
Yeah.
my multi was dead, so I flicked it straight off. But
Yeah, so we had Sharks versus Warriors game. It was only 2 games this weekend. That was game 1, and then game 2 we had Raiders versus. Yeah, it was Penrith. Yes, Penrith. Yeah. Raiders versus Penrith. I mean, there was about 3 starting players that played in that game. I watched the Raiders Warriors one fully. Raiders Penrith. Sorry, it was just horrific. Like there was 3 Martin. There was 3 Martin brothers out there at the same time.
Don't get me wrong, it's good to have the footy back, but it's just like this isn't.
Yeah, there was no first team players.
Hey, we'll take what we're given.
Yeah, 100%. But this week we've got a full round.
Yeah, that's exciting.
A full round of pre-season.
Literally just had the notification for the South team list.
Yeah,
that come out,
the team lists have come out. It's very exciting. We've almost got footy back. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else to really touch on there. I mean, we've got Raiders versus Sharks this week. Then we've got Knights versus Eels. That might be the worst game.
Oh.
Yeah, that's bad. But to be fair, there is like first team players that have been named all through the squad. So I'm actually excited to.
What's the difference between fucking Parramatta's first and second grade?
And Raiders versus Sharks, Thursday night football.
Yeah.
We're back.
That's what's going to be the best thing about this year. I've said it from fucking time again. Thursday night footy.
Yeah, 100%.
This makes life, the week go so much faster. You're talking about footy. You get to watch it. You go to work on Friday.
Yeah.
You had footy the night before. You take the good with the bad.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, and then other than that, we've got Cowboys Dolphs in Cairns, which
your part of town.
Yeah, my old part of town. Be hot up there at the moment. Would not want to be up there. Warriors versus Storm.
I don't know. I'm not buying into it too much, man. It's still trials end of the day.
Yeah. You can't. I do not bet on it. Like I had a look last week, and it was just some of the weirdest team structure. Obviously, it's preseason.
Only serious degenerates will bet on a trial match.
Yeah, and then Rabbitohs versus Sea Eagles on Saturday afternoon.
Yep.
And then we've got, to finish it on Sunday, Broncos Titans, Bulldogs Tigers, Dragons Roosters. So, I mean, say what you want. At least we've got a full round of footy regardless. So we're going to be able to, I mean, I'll be watching personally and just making notes on the teams.
Yeah, and I mean, for all those that join our Supercoach leagues, it's actually a pretty good time to sort of pick up on all your cheapies.
Great mention.
That's right, because this time last year, I was pretty much trying to take my Supercoach pretty serious, and I did watch a few of the trials only because I wanted to see, like, those sort of...
You got to know who's starting and...
Yeah, those fill-in positions, especially early on in the season. So
especially with cheap players.
If you haven't joined the Supercoach yet...
Yes.
For both codes...
Yes, NRL and AFL winner will get $200. You've got to be in before the launch of the season, so we've got about 3 weeks until that kicks off. So make sure you get in. The link is in the description of all the videos, so make sure you join that or head over to the Discord because we'll be doing like the regular updates and things.
Like I said, always reach out too, like whether you're in the Discord or not, or if you like I said, follow the page on Instagram and all that as well to sort of get things kicked off. But yeah, for those who are looking to do Supercoach and win some cash and some stuff like that throughout the year, will be some prizes.
100%.
Then time to get your team sorted, because if you miss the jump, then you'll be missing the spoils.
And I guess the last thing I sort of want to talk about as well is just the e-book we launched.
Yep.
So I put a bit of time into making an e-book of it's just for the NRL, full team analysis. There's ratings, there's squad movement, there's betting tips for the year. Yeah. There's just an overall insight into every team.
Just on that, I won't cut you off. I won't compliment Frank too often. Well, if I do, it's behind closed doors. But that ebook is some serious piece of work. And considering I know how much effort and work you put into it, and I've seen the whole thing, it is pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'll put some graphics on screen just to sort of show what it looks like. But there'll be a link in the description as well for that. I'll put it on the screen too. You can easily just view it on that link, or you can download it. There's also a code and a discount for the season launch. So to get the NRL package, again, it launches in 3 weeks, so make sure you get in before that launches. But if you read to the end of the book, there's a sort of a funnel there that leads you to the discount code and the season package. You don't have to. You can be a free member too. You can just join our Discord for free, and there'll be free tips and stuff that get put in there. It'd be more regular. I mean, the free tips in the group have been a little bit quiet recently just because of the lack of sport that I do. So yeah, they'll pick up, and there'll be lots of free stuff. So even if you don't want to pay, you don't have to. Just come join the group and build the community. And other than that, I think that's a wrap. Really, you got anything you want to?
No, not really. Like I said, now's the time to sort of get everything set up. Like I said, if you're tuning in and you're sort of wondering what we're talking about with the Discord and stuff, reach out because now's the time to jump in because, pretty much do the work now and then enjoy the ride and the spoils for the rest of the season. You'll sort of see, like, the numbers don't lie what we had with last year in profit. So if it's something that you're into, then you're looking at the right place. So
100%. Results are sold last year. We're going to go even bigger this year.
We're going to have fun,
You just feel it because I wasn't even as prepared for this year as I was last year.
Oh, yeah, now it's full on.
So it's going to be a serious year, and I'm really keen for it. I think, it's really
quick thumbnail? Thumbnail little?
Yeah, pose for a thumbnail.
3, 2, 1. And maybe like a shocked one, like a 3,
I just did that, so you do that. All right,
okay,
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, so
that's media, baby. That's how you fucking do it.
So if you're listening on Spotify, it's probably some of the worst podcasting you ever hear.
Yeah, well, not the worst podcast. Have you ever heard of Abby Chatfield?
I've blocked her.
I have too. I have too.
Mate, just the worst takes.
Oh my god, that is so funny. I have too.
Yeah, you really can't cop it. But yeah, that wraps up episode 2. As always, just sort of help us with engagement. Like, share, comment, subscribe to the YouTube, subscribe to Spotify. I don't even know what you're doing. Follow on Spotify.
Yep.
And just keep listening. Obviously, these the episodes without NRL and AFL action, it's a little bit you're sort of grasping at straws for different contents. But I think this one was a bit more easy, a bit more flowing.
Yeah, we're gonna start bringing out some more content with fun stuff too coming soon. We've got some pretty good ideas.
Regular
guys are gonna
segments, some in real life content. There's been heaps of fun stuff that we're talking about doing. So it's going to be a really cool season. I'm super keen for it. I think obviously next week we'll talk about the NRL trials and we'll touch on them a bit more. I think there's going to be AFL prackies that come in soon as well.
We'll have the Indigenous games this week too to talk about too.
Is that this week or next week?
AFL's this week.
This week?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So we'll talk about that next week as well. We'll probably come in with some Brownlow and Dally M predictions as well. So
not a bad shout.
Yeah, so there'll be plenty of content. And we're back in 3 weeks full time with some proper action. So once it gets to there, it'll just be firing on all cylinders. So we'll wrap it up here. Episode 2, Provide Picks podcast. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.
Cheers.
Cheers.
If you made it this far, you can date my sister.
Cheers.
Oh, yeah. What have you done here?
Outro.
Oh.
Freestyle.
Are we still going? I said, what? I met Footscray. Doesn't mean it's straight, and it doesn't mean I'm gay. Just kidding. I'm having lots of fun. Go out and hit a 6. How about a ton? That'll do.